Zacchaeus is one of the most intriguing figures in the New Testament. His story, recorded in Luke 19 verses 1 to 10, is brief but rich with meaning. He was a man of short stature, but his spiritual transformation is one of the most significant described in the Bible. Zacchaeus teaches us about redemption, humility, and the impact of an encounter with Jesus. Who was this man? Why is his story so relevant? And what can we learn from his journey? Zacchaeus was the chief tax collector in Jericho, one of the wealthiest and most important cities in the region. As such, he had power and wealth but was despised by the people. Tax collectors, especially Jews working for the Roman Empire, were seen as traitors and corrupt. They often collected more than required, enriching themselves at the expense of their fellow countrymen. As a chief tax collector, Zacchaeus likely oversaw other tax collectors and profited even more from the system. Despite his wealth, Zacchaeus seemed to be searching for something more. When he heard that Jesus was passing through Jericho, he felt a deep desire to see him. However, he faced two obstacles: the crowd surrounding Jesus and his short stature. Determined, Zacchaeus climbed a sycamore tree to get a better view. This seemingly simple act is loaded with symbolism. A wealthy and powerful man exposing himself in this way, climbing a tree like a child, demonstrated a heart seeking something greater than possessions. When Jesus reached that spot, he looked up and called Zacchaeus by name. "Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." Luke 19 verse 5. Jesus' initiative is remarkable. He not only acknowledged Zacchaeus but also chose to enter his home, something society would have considered impure given Zacchaeus' reputation. This act of acceptance and grace marked the beginning of a radical transformation. Zacchaeus came down from the tree joyfully and welcomed Jesus into his home. However, the crowd reacted with murmurs. "He has gone to be the guest of a sinner," Luke 19 verse 7. This judgment reflects how Zacchaeus was viewed, a man unworthy of Jesus' presence. But Zacchaeus' response revealed the impact of the encounter. He declared, "Look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount." Luke 19 verse 8. This declaration is extraordinary. According to Jewish law, restitution for theft or fraud required returning the original amount plus 20%. However, Zacchaeus went further, offering to repay 4 times the amount, a measure reserved for the most severe cases of theft, Exodus 22 verse 1. Additionally, giving half of his wealth to the poor was an extraordinary act of generosity and repentance. These actions show that Zacchaeus' transformation was not superficial. He not only recognized his wrongs but also took concrete steps to make amends. Jesus responded with a powerful affirmation: "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man, too, is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost." Luke 19 verses 9 to 10. These words echo the purpose of Jesus' ministry: to reach those who are despised, marginalized, or deemed irredeemable. By calling Zacchaeus a son of Abraham, Jesus reaffirmed his inclusion in God's covenant, despite his past. The story of Zacchaeus is deeply relevant to anyone who feels excluded or burdened by their past. It shows that no one is beyond the reach of God's grace. Zacchaeus was not transformed because he deserved it. He was transformed because he responded to Jesus' call with humility and faith. His change was a reflection of what Christ's presence can do in a willing heart. There is also significant symbolism in the sycamore tree Zacchaeus climbed. This tree is known for its low branches, making it accessible even to the smallest individuals. Just as Zacchaeus found a way to overcome his physical limitations, Jesus provides an accessible path for everyone to overcome their spiritual barriers. Additionally, the story of Zacchaeus challenges societal prejudices. The crowd saw nothing redeemable in Zacchaeus, but Jesus looked beyond appearances and recognized a heart ready to change. This invites us to reevaluate how we judge others and reminds us that God sees potential in everyone, even in those the world dismisses. Zacchaeus' transformation is also an example of how true repentance goes beyond words. He did not just promise to change, he demonstrated his change through concrete actions. His generosity and restitution were visible evidence of his newfound purpose. Above all, the story of Zacchaeus is a celebration of grace. He did not need to perform great deeds to be accepted by Jesus. The simple desire to see him, symbolized by climbing the tree, was enough to capture Christ's attention. This encounter reminds us that Jesus takes the initiative to seek the lost, and our willingness to meet him can completely alter the course of our lives. While Zacchaeus began his story as a despised man, he ended it as a powerful example of what it means to encounter Jesus. His journey reminds us that God's grace knows no bounds and that an encounter with Christ can transform even the most unlikely situations and hearts. If you liked this video and want to know more about the characters that surrounded the life of Christ and formed the rich biblical story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and send this video to your friends. Turn on notifications to know when new videos come out.